Taylor's put together on the tips and tricks of making reciprocal reservations. There's been some changes to the reservation system in the last couple of years. We've been working through those changes. Corporate's been making some updates to the system to make it better for everybody. But Taylor's gonna, she's the queen of making these reservations. Her organizational skills are second to none. And what we always tell people, look, do your best. If you have any issues, get a hold of our team, starting with Taylor, and we will work to make sure you can get out on the water. But before we dive into the presentation, I want to take a moment to share some updates about everything going on with Freedom Boat Club Lake St. Clair. I don't know if everybody's heard, but Jared Irwin's off to another adventure. I can't thank him enough for all of his hard work and dedication and helping the club grow. He's played a huge key role in the success of the business. While we're sad to see him move on, we're excited for his next adventure for him. And again, thank him for everything he's always done and becoming part of our family. With Jared's departure, I'm thrilled to announce that we have promoted Taylor Kane to the role of general manager and integrator. She will be the youngest general manager in the history of Freedom Boat Club, but she's earned this position. Her organizational skills are second to none. She's going to play an integral part of our club's success in really dedicating her focus on member experience. That's her bailiwick. That's where she thrives in her leadership position with our company. Also keeping all of our team organized and on track in terms of what we're doing. We're also excited to announce that we've brought in a young man by the name of Joseph DeBoyer as our director of sales. He's going to be replacing Jared. So if you have any member referrals, he's going to be the contact for those referrals. Likewise, any questions you have regarding membership, start with Joseph. He'll help you out. Additionally, we have Sean Bagan as our Chief Operating Officer. He's going to manage all the finance and budgets with precision that he's done over the last year and a half. If you have any questions on your billing, that's the guy to start with. Nick Abraham is returning as our operations director, along with Adam Abraham, overseeing our fleet to make sure all of our boats are in new or like new condition. I'm always amazed as to what these guys are able to do, keeping 50 plus boats going every single week. I'm not aware of us missing one reservation for the entire year. By my last tally, we did 4,995 boat trips on Lake St. Clair and did not miss one reservation. And I remember both Nick and Adam on multiple occasions going out to the lake and out on the water and repairing people's boats on the water. And pretty neat to see them get up and underway after they're having an issue with a boat, and these guys got them moving. Lastly, Travis Roy returns as our marketing director. He's also taken on a new role working with Nick as our director of training. So he's going to be the starting point for all training. Done an amazing job in the training videos that we keep producing from our club that are, we're being recognized nationally and worldwide. We just, as part of our boat class group, Travis was recognized as one of the national boating safety marketers of the year. So with that, Taylor, take it over. And I'm going to sit back and learn how to make some reciprocal reservations.
Awesome. Sounds good. I hope everyone can hear me. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Really looking forward to this presentation. To get started, we are going to go over our locations. So this is actually 420 plus international locations. So my map's a little outdated, but 200 of these are year round. So even though Lake St. Clair is, closed right now, you have 200 other options of places that you can go boating and use year round. And just in Florida, there's a little over 100 locations there. So definitely want to get out and check out these reciprocal locations. And that's what we're here for tonight, is to be able to help you work out this process. The first thing is the logging on to the reservation system. This should look very familiar to everyone who has used the reservation system and made reservations on their own. Something I just wanted to point out from this screen is at the bottom, there is a link that says watch our training video here. So this is something that corporate has created for members. This is going to give you a little bit of a rundown of how to use the reservation system. I'm going to go through a lot of what they teach you in this tonight. However, if this is something that you want to go back and just, freshen up on, you can use that. And you can also find the link to this on our website. So our website is fbclsc.com. So you can go on there and you'll be able to find the login to the reservation system. The first thing when you log on to the reservation system is it's going to say welcome back, and you're going to have 3 tabs on top: the upcoming reservations, your wait list, and your past reservations. So I know that Stephen was on here talking about how many reservations everyone has had. So if you want to look back at your past reservations, you can just click that tab right there and it's going to show you your past reservations. Throughout this presentation, I have little arrows because these are some of the things I want to point out as importance on this screen. You can see how many upcoming reservations you have. So depending on the weight of the reservation, that's how you're going to get this number. So right now I have 4 out of 4, and it's going to tell me where my upcoming reservations are. So I have an upcoming reservation on Friday, December 27th. It will tell you everything that you would see at your home location, but something that's going to be really important is the phone number. So a lot of times people, don't know the phone number to the club or may have some questions or directions. Since this isn't your normal home club, these are going to be some things that you want to take note of. So if you're on a cell phone looking at the reservation system, you can just click this phone number and it should take you right to the call. You can also get some, directions to the location. Something that you're going to see if you are in, on the ocean, you can see when the tide is going to be going up and when it's going to be going down. That's not something you see for Lake St. Clair, as well as pet friendly and vessel capacity. So that's going to obviously be different for every location, but this is just the first thing that's going to pop up on the reservation system when you log in. And to actually make a reservation, you are going to use this plus reserve button over at the top. So once you click that, it is going to take you to this screen. So now that you're no longer going to be traveling in Michigan because it's cold, you can choose a different country. So I know that Stephen mentioned Spain is year round, so you can change your country, you can change your state, and obviously your location. So you can see right here, I was staying in the United States. I picked Florida as my state, and then Florida has so many locations, so you can scroll through here and find the location that you are interested in. Something to take note of, the little world symbol just means that that's a reciprocal location. Your home club is going to have a little house, just like you see up here. So you can, pick any of these locations, and then once you click go, it's going to bring you up to this screen. Now, this is the most important screen I really want to talk about tonight, is because this is where the most people get confused and freak out that they can't get a reservation. And we just want to, clear some of that up. So the first thing is when you, get to your location that you chose, it's going to bring you to today's date. So I did this, I created this presentation on November 1st. So we're going to go as today's November 1st, and it's telling me that all your time slots are within lockout period. What lockout period means is that it's within 24 hours of your reservation. So if you're trying to book a reservation either today or tomorrow, if you were to book out from, let's say, so today's Wednesday, if you were to click Friday's date, you would no longer receive this message. But if you are on today's or tomorrow's date, it's going to tell you that you are within the lockout period. And what to do if you're in the lockout period, you have to call the location directly to actually, turn that wait list into a reservation. And that is what we call a spur of the moment reservation. The next thing you're going to see is the location's reciprocal limit has been reached. So what this means is each location has a 10% reciprocal limit. No matter where you go, they all have the same limit. So if a location has 10 boats and one reciprocal member makes a reservation out of there, then that will reach their 10% reciprocal limit. And what this does is it just helps the home club to ensure that reciprocal members are not taking over. So if we're boating on Lake St. Clair and we have all these people from Florida come in and start booking up all your boats, you guys wouldn't be happy. So that's why they've put this reciprocal limit in place. However, that doesn't mean that you can't get a boat. There's just a few extra steps of what you have to do in order to get around the reciprocal limit. So the first thing, we'll talk about how to get around that in a little bit. I just want to make sure that everyone knows about the location terms. That's in this box right here. You can click that, and that is going to have several check boxes that you're going to have to go through that talk about that specific club and everything you need to know. If you don't go through the location terms and you just go right into making a reservation, it's going to kind of bounce you back. Like it's almost going to seem like you made a reservation, but it's not actually going to go through. So make sure, and this is anytime you click a new location. And I believe every time you go onto the reciprocal locations, like reservation system. So just make sure that you are going through the location terms, and you'll know you're good when you get the little green check mark next to location terms. And that's what's going to allow you to kind of move past that. Another thing to take note of is right here, your reciprocal limit. So that is how many times you've used that club. So I haven't used the club at this Tampa, Clearwater, Right Choice Marine location at all. So I have a 0 out of 4 reciprocal limit. If I would have went out of there once this year, then I would have a 1 of 4 reciprocal uses. And everyone knows that you can get 4 reciprocal uses per year. Another thing to know is the location information in the blue box. That's going to have the address, the dock manager. That's going to have different notes from each location. There's also location announcements. So sometimes if there's a closure, or I know that the water levels are very low. So I noticed that some locations are putting in water levels under the location announcement. So just be sure to check over the location information and the location announcements when you're traveling outside of your home location, and then the location terms. This is what the location announcement looks like. So you can, find different information in there. This is what the club information looks like. So we have, I believe this was the address up here. I cut it off, but they have the dock phone number, the member services. So those will be good numbers to jot down if you're just checking out the location. This is what the location terms look like. Now, the location terms are going to be separate or different for reciprocal members than what their home club members are. And that is because they are tailored to you to make sure that you understand and know everything that they can let you know within this little section of the reservation system, because you're not familiar with that waterway. So it's very, very important to read this, in detail and understand that area, because that's like when someone comes to Lake St. Clair, we like to warn them about the firecracker, because that may be something that they're unaware of, and that can really, ruin someone's day. So just make sure that you are reading all of the marina rules and regulations, all of the, if they have downloaded files, make sure you're reading those and going over them. Once you actually get to the part where you can make reservations, there's two different screens you may see. This top one that has the white available, that is going to be what you see if the reciprocal limit has been reached or if it's within the lockout period. So that means that the vessel is available, but you cannot actually reserve it. You would have to waitlist yourself. So in the case that you see that the vessel is available, you want to click waitlist and you will want to call either the reservationist or call the dock phone. I highly suggest calling the reservationist. So let me see if I can go back. Oh, right here, the member services, that's what they would consider the reservationist. They're going to be the ones who are going to be able to assist you because sometimes the docks are busy and maybe they're not able to get to the phone. So if they do have a member services or a reservationist, that's going to be the first number you want to call if you waitlisted yourself for a future reservation. If it's a spur of the moment reservation and within 24 hours, you're going to want to call that dock phone. And I highly suggest, if you're able to, if you have, because I know sometimes people are on vacation and they, aren't able to always look at their phones. But if you're able to be on the phone with them and let them know that I added myself on the wait list for Bolts Bay and, here's my name and I see that it's available. If you're talking to them and telling them that you're looking at the reservation system live along with them, that's going to help them, see that some of these locations and, Tampa are very large. They have a lot of boats and they maybe missed your, wait list because it's down at the bottom or hidden. So when you're on the phone with them, actually like telling them what boat you waitlisted for and it's actually available right now, that is going to help them out a ton. And they will, they'll help you out then for, helping them out. Now, if the boat is available, you're going to see the normal reserve area just like this. And that's because this is, no longer in the lockout period. The reciprocal limit's not reached, and I can just go ahead and reserve it like normal. Another thing is if you were to click this little white available sign, it's going to give you this location's reciprocal limit has been reached. So you would have two options in this situation. You could either reserve it for the morning or the afternoon because those are available. Or if you did want the reservation all day, you would add yourself to the wait list and then you would call the docks and they would be able to assist you. Again, if it's within that 24-hour time period, I highly suggest calling the docks. If it's a future reservation, say the reservation's not till next week, I highly suggest calling the reservation system or the reservationist or the member services person. The dock staff does more with the 24-hour reservations, and the member services are going to help you more with the future reservations. Another thing that you may see is missing certificates. So a lot of people ask the question, well, how do I know what type of certificates I need when I'm traveling? The best possible thing you can do is go to your reservation or go to your location and act like you're going to create a reservation. So go on there, pick your state, pick your location, and you don't even have to pick a day. You can just stay on the same day, and it's going to tell you whether or not you're missing certificates. If it looks like you can just reserve boats, then you're not missing anything at all and you're all set. But if you are missing certificates, you're going to have this little pop-up and it's going to tell you what certificates you're missing. So it looks like in order to reserve this boat, I'm missing my advanced boat operation and open water certificate. So we'll talk a little bit later about how to obtain those. But something I just want to point out over on the screen, this boat up here that does not require the offshore certification, that is a bay boat and maybe a boat that would stay on the intercoastal. This boat down here is an offshore boat and that can go offshore. I have had a member who has gone offshore on a non-offshore boat and has been charged a hefty fine. So just be aware if your boat is an offshore boat, it will be, a larger boat and require that advanced offshore certification. And if you have any questions, always just, ask the dock hands. They're always there to help you.
Hey, T, mention that if anybody has any questions, to type into the chat and then I'll respond to them as you're talking.
Okay. Did everyone hear that? Just type your questions in the chat and Steven's going to try to answer them as I'm going through. The next thing I wanted to bring up is looking on the internet for, reciprocal locations. So there's so many. We unfortunately don't really have a great interactive map to see all the locations. So I just looked up Freedom Boat Club Clearwater, and right here, quite a few just popped up. And once I clicked the Clearwater location that I was interested in, it's going to bring me to this website. So this is going to look similar for like all locations. If you were to look up Lake St. Clair, we have something that looks similar to this, but it just will say, hello from Freedom Boat Club, Lake St. Clair. You can click up here, this members. That is going to be the link to the reservation system. So if you don't have the link to that, you can click that. It's also going to have information about the location. So it has, a little bit of background information. It has also the marina amenities. We can see that you have to pay to park at this location. There is a bath and shower facility. So you can see the different marina amenities. If there's a pool, it'll list pool in this section. And if you keep scrolling, it's actually going to bring you to a much larger map where you can see all the Freedom Boat Clubs in the area, and you can click, through the different ones. So that's why I think, looking up the location that you're going to on the internet is going to be very helpful. It's also going to give you address information, dock information. Again, there's two places you can find it. You can find it within the reservation system, as well as just searching the location up on the internet. And you'll also see the reservationist phone number here. So I was talking about the member services reservationist. You'll be able to find the phone number to that person right here as well. There, if you keep scrolling, there's also different things to do in the area. So if you're, on a vacation and you're looking for different things to do, they have local attractions and a little bit about each of those places. So just to get a little bit more familiar. So they don't only have boat club information, they also have local information as well. Again, right here is the reservation system. So you can just click that. Going back to the training, so I just want to hit on the offshore advanced training. We unfortunately cannot offer that training here on Lake St. Clair. So if you are traveling to a warmer destination this winter, you want to get trained, that cost will be, the member will be responsible for that cost. And normally it's anywhere from $100 to $250. And that is because the outside of Lake St. Clair Club is incurring that cost. We are not. So we will do, your new member orientation. Another one that some of the corporate clubs are requiring is intermediate training. We are working on offering that for our members. We have not came out with the details on that yet, but we are hoping that by next summer, we're able to offer our members intermediate training. So these are going to be your corporate clubs that are going to have these rules that I'm going to talk about below to do these trainings. So for a franchise member who's requesting a training at a corporate club, so we are franchise members and we are going to require, and you're requesting a training at any of these corporate clubs, you're going to want to use this training portal link. And I'm going to try to link this at the top of our band so that you guys can easily find it if you do plan on traveling to one of these locations and are interested in getting that offshore advanced certification. Also, feel free to reach out to me. The best thing to do if you are traveling and, trying to get this additional certifications, email me where you're going, so the location and what Freedom Boat Clubs are around you. And then also email me the dates that you will be there or the dates that you're available. So if you're not going to be available the whole time, I just have to have a time range on when people will be available to actually complete these trainings so that I can work with the captains and get you set up for a training. If it is a corporate location, I am going to just send you this this link right here to the member training portal, and then you're going to be able to pick your 3 locations that you want to do it at, because they make you pick like which 3 are closest to you. They have you pick 3 dates and talk a little bit about your experience. Now, the franchise is set up a little bit differently than the corporate, but I just wanted to touch on the corporate side of things because they have different requirements. To complete the offshore advanced certification at a corporate location, they also require you to have intermediate training. So again, let me know if you're going to be traveling, and we will make sure that you get set up for that intermediate and offshore advanced training. We have big news. This is something that I actually wasn't planning on talking about tonight, but Stephen let us know that the Freedom Boat Club app is coming out. And I believe I don't know if is it on the App Store now, Stephen, or will it be on the App Store tomorrow?
Well, believe it, it's on the store. I copied that picture right from the App Store, so I think you can grab it.
Okay, so make sure you guys go and grab your Freedom Boat Club apps. Unfortunately, right now, you will not be able to use it because we can only make home club reservations with the app. They are going to be making sure that you can make reciprocal location reservations, but at this time you cannot. That is still something they are working on. And once it gets closer, we will make sure that we do a training on it. Being that we don't have any boats in the system right now, we won't be able to do a really in-depth training on it, but before the season starts, we will, have a training on the app so that everyone, feels confident in using that. Sean, we have a little offer for our members. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Hey, do you mind muting real quick, Taylor? All right. Cool. No, like, can you mute your thing so I don't hear the echo? I'm sorry. That just really drives me nuts sometimes. Hey guys, thank you all for hopping on today. Just a quick thing. We got some special member only offers for Black Friday. I'm not sure if we've ever done this before. Still a little new here, but nonetheless, it's been a huge hit so far. So take advantage of it. It's basically it is I believe we're doing this through to Black Friday. So you have until next Friday to get this done and closed. But if you prepay early, you're going to have 2 months off as opposed to the 1 month off we usually offer. So prepay early, and then it'll be good from your renewal date. So if you've prepaid in the past, we'll just push that back another 12 months. And if you are currently on a monthly rate, then we'll just switch you to a yearly rate, and your new renewal date would then be December. So take advantage of it. It's a great deal. It's 12 months for the price of 10. So save a little money. Adam Manchester and Band said it best. That's free gas money. So you think of it that way, right? So if you're interested, reach out to Taylor. She's been helping all you guys get that all settled up. And the other one we're offering right now, also an awesome deal, peace of mind coverage. So it's $50 off right now through Black Friday. Great deal. If you're not a Peace of Mind member already, definitely recommend it. And if you currently are, that's fine. Just give us a call, take advantage of it for this year, and we can switch you. Or I'm sorry, I apologize. This is for new enrollments only. The $50 off is for new enrollments only. So if you're not a Peace of Mind member already, please consider it, especially getting out there in the reciprocal locations in the wintertime. It doesn't matter what scale of boater you are, you're going somewhere else. You're going somewhere different, right? You don't really know the waters as well as you do Lake St. Clair. Highly recommend it. It does work at reciprocal locations, and I can't say enough about it, right? I've had members tell me in the past, really very experienced members, like, man, I really wish I had that peace of mind coverage, because I didn't realize how shallow it was over here at Tim Ford's Lake or wherever they were going, right? So take advantage of it. Also, you can reach out to Taylor for that as well. Taylor, if you want to drop your email in the chat. Yeah. So I'm here to answer any questions as well. So I'll be here through the rest of the call, and I'll be keeping an eye on the chat as well. So that's all I got for you guys. Happy reciprocal adventuring, and hopefully see you guys at the Christmas party. So
All right. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them now or throw them into the chat. I'd also ask that everybody that's on the call is type in what year you believe you joined the club, because that's something I always like to see. I know Bill Chalmers is a 2017 guy. Dave, I think you joined in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a lot of our members have been around for, since we started this thing, and it's pretty cool to see everybody still in the club.
Here's my email. I know Sean wanted me to post my email in the chat. I thought it might get lost in there. So if everyone just kind of wants to take note of my email right now. So if you want to take advantage of those Black Friday deals, please be sure to send me an email about that, and I will get back to you shortly. We have had a lot of requests, so hopefully I can get back to you by Friday, if not Monday, on completing that. I also wanted to throw out there, Sean talked about it a little bit. We are having our Christmas party. It was posted on Band, but I will be getting an email and text message out to everyone by Friday. It's going to be Thursday, December 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Geno Surf. So if you're interested in that, be sure to get on Band, get your tickets. You can bring a guest. We have raffles and different things like that. So everyone is invited, and we really hope to see you at that event. We will be recapping the year, and it's just a fun event to meet different members and see everyone and celebrate an awesome year.
All right.
I will open it up. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, T, I'm just going to address a couple of the questions that were asked. Is is the 4 reciprocal limit a hard rule? The answer is it's club dependent. Is each club has, we kind of operate by our own rules. If you're a great reciprocal member where you treat the dock staff well, and you really enjoy your experience at those locations, my experience with every one of the locations around the country is they can become a little bit laxed on the 4 reservation limit. Not a guarantee, but most of the clubs will work with you if you've been a great reciprocal member visiting those clubs. Hey, take care of the dock staff, tip the dock staff well, talk to them, get to know them, go visit the dock, let them know about your boating experience up in Lake St. Clair. Many of the dock staff around the country are from Michigan. I always find that very funny as we see them all over the place. Another question that came out, T, that Antoinette asked that I think I want to have you follow up with corporate and get an answer on. She wants to know if she books 4 reservations in December at one location, can she use 4 reservations in January? Is the 4 limit a calendar year, or is it when you start and go? I want to get that answer from corporate, so let's follow up with corporate on that answer.
I believe it's start and go. So like when your first reservation is, so like if you book them all in December, the following December they're going to renew. I could be wrong.
That's correct.
Is that correct? Okay. So it's from when you book the reservation to it's not calendar year.
Stuart threw out a question that we're getting hit with quite a bit lately, and I think Adam Manchester's interested in this too. Are you planning to open another location downriver? The answer is yes, it's going to happen. Purchasing the marina, it was a huge capital investment for our company. And we're working on getting the bank accounts back up where they need to be. But as soon as we get that ready in the next couple of years, we're looking at 3 possible locations on Lake St. Clair. One is downriver, is definitely a targeted area. We have a tremendous amount of interest from downriver. A number of our members are from that area. Some wonderful boating experiences down there. We took a tour down there this year. And a few of our downriver members led the tour, so that was really kind of interesting because that's not an area I'm familiar with. But that was really a lot of fun. Went down to Humbug Marine, and that's definitely going to be a location in the future. We're looking at a possible location up in Port Huron at some point in time to cover the north end of our territory. We also have an opportunity that may arise in downtown New Baltimore. New Baltimore has been granted a $2 million grant through the federal government to build a break wall and add docks to their marina right there. There's discussions going on right now about having us operate and manage the marina. And then we'd have about 10 boats at that location too. So the answer is yes. Our plans are, we will have 8 to 10 locations on Lake St. Clair and then exploring some other possible opportunities. We just got out of a meeting recently with the team and we're talking about those future plans, but that's kind of where we're looking at right now. See, I'm just looking at. Yeah, so Bob and Rita, another question that's come up is the corporate locations. If you're going to get your offshore training down there, they do require an intermediate training first, and I think then you have to go through the intermediate training, take out a boat a couple of times over a couple of weeks, and then you can get the offshore training. And again, those are dependent. A lot of the locations will just give you the offshore training. If anybody's able to, and I'm available during the off season, if you're able to make it over into the Tampa area, I'm happy to take you out and spend the day out in the water. If you want to do a little fishing, Dave Sokol and I did a little fishing. Had a great time out in the water. And while we were there was a pot of manatees all came,
Like at
through. It was
100
really
of
kind
them.
of,
It was
yeah, it was
insane.
100. It was pretty crazy. We're just sitting there fishing, all of a sudden boats surrounded by manatees. So it was a
Crazy.
lot of fun on that day. But yeah, if I'm available, I'm happy to do that training for you.
Please just reach out to, like, if you know
Yeah.
you're going to be in the Tampa area, again, just reach out to me that you will be in that area and with the dates that you will be there so that I can coordinate that with Steven. I just wanted to say something about the Bob and Rita. They asked if you've taken the advanced offshore training. Is the intermediate still required? I know Steven kind of touched on that. I just wanted to add, if you already have your advanced offshore, you're going to find that some locations do require the intermediate and some locations only require the new member orientation, NASBLA, and advanced offshore. The intermediate, it's kind of some locations does require it, some locations don't. So again, it's just going to be dependent on the location.
Taylor, if they have the intermediate, if they have their advanced offshore, we're going to get you your intermediate. I'll go through it with you by way of a Zoom or a virtual presentation, and then we'll get you that so you don't have to go through that secondary class.
Yeah, we have a
Yes,
lot of.
and Bob and Rita did point out that if our Great Lakes locations, the big water, open water locations in Ohio, and as well as on the west side of the state, will offer offshore training, so we can get that done there if you're here locally.
I've sent a lot of people to Ohio to complete that advanced
Yep.
offshore. And this is another reason why we want to, start offering this intermediate, is because, we can't offer the advanced offshore.
Right.
However, there is locations in the area that will offer that. So we want to be able to branch
and
out.
I also recommend, if you've taken the offshore after you've done a Great Lakes offshore training, before you take any boats out down in Florida, at least reach out to me. I'll set up a Zoom call and go through some of the specifics and issues that we deal with in the ocean areas. In particular, dealing with tide and current and flow. It's not something we see in the Great Lakes. If you go out to Maine, the tide will change. I believe it was 13 feet the last time I was out there. In a 4-hour period, we saw the water drop 13 feet. You really need to understand that water and how to deal with it before you get out on the waterway. Likewise, dealing with the inlets especially on the east side, the east coast of Florida. If you've ever watched the haul over inlet videos, you really need to understand what you're doing before you take a boat out any of the inlets. So at least give me a call. I will run through with it, run through the kind of the ins and outs of dealing with those kind of issues on the ocean waterways. Yeah, it's in the Ohio clubs. It's most of the Lake Erie locations will provide that training.
It's actually only
Is-
one specific one that
Is
they
it?
offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. But if you would like to go to Ohio, please just reach out to me and I will coordinate that with the club. But I believe it is the Port Lorraine location that everyone has gone to complete that. I want to say we've sent like 5 members over there this past summer to complete their offshore.
All right. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Taylor, great job. Sean, also wonderful job. Take advantage of that prepay, you guys. It's a really good offer. It's the first time we've done that. We thought it would be kind of something cool. And we had a lot of members taking advantage of it. And same thing with that. If you don't know what the peace of mind coverage is, check with Sean or Joe. And, that's really a great benefit especially if you're going to be using the reciprocal locations, your chances of having an incident go up exponentially if you're boating in waters that you've never boated in before. And that peace of mind coverage is exactly what it says, peace of mind. All right. Yep. Taylor, also happy birthday. Turned a big
Thank you.
whopping 23 years of age. I
Thank
promoted
you.
her as at 22 because there has been a 23-year-old general manager in
Oh
in the
boy.
club. So
Thank you.
and you'll see Joseph's emails down there. If you have any member referrals, also remember our member referral program. Anybody that you refer that joins the club, you get a free month. If you refer 6 members in a calendar year that join, you boat for free the following season.
Oh,
With
one more
that,
thing. I want to add one more thing.
go ahead,
Members,
T.
if you're in the area of Freedom Marina, be sure to come pick up the referral cards. I should stop sharing my screen so that everyone can see what Sean is holding up. He is holding up our member referral cards. So you can pick those up. You can hand those out to wherever you go. So if you're in the area, we're normally here from 8 to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Shoot us a message if you plan on stopping in. You can pick them up at the Christmas party, and we want everyone to get a month off or a free year if you get 6 members.
All right, we're in the process of selling our entire fleet because we want to replace it with brand new boats next season. We will be checking out a bunch of brand new boats at this year's franchise conference in February. That's where we'll be putting most of our order in. But we're looking at some really cool stuff again for next season.
Awesome.
Take care,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Everybody have a great Thanksgiving.